Wow, what a day. So I had my first meeting of my abstract math class today at noon. Pretty good. My professor's kind of quirky, like you would expect from a math PhD, I guess. He cracks a bunch of like really weird, dry jokes that no one laughs at, but hey, A for effort. We didn't do much over the weekend. Just kind of piddled around. We're in the middle of refinishing some furniture, so we did that for a while. We drove down to St. Pete just cause, drove across the bay, and I finally got around to organizing all of my reference stuff. Let me show you. I only got 4 right now, so I have them labeled. So obviously calculus, linear, diffie-q, what I just got done with, and the one I'm currently using, which is obviously Bridge to Abstract Math. So that's been on the list to do for a while. Glad to finally get it done. A couple books came in today. This is one of them, Intro to PDEs, relevant. I'm taking that in 2 semesters. And also this, which I've been looking forward to. Vector Calculus, Linear Algebra, and Differential Forms, a Unified Approach, 5th edition. Still in the plastic. You see that? Let's open it up and smell it. I've never owned like a new textbook before. I mean, I've rented some that were pretty new that only been used like once or twice, but I've never owned something brand new. Not a textbook. You ready? First time. Oh. Wow, smells like paper and ink, just like you would expect. Super excited to delve into that at some point. And another thing, so for the past 3 or 4 months, maybe not quite that long, maybe 2 or 3 months, I've been on the lookout for a finer tipped pen. So I know in the past I've raved about Pilot G2 .38s, but they're basically fine enough for me. But my problem was, especially during diffie-q this past summer A, it bleeds. I don't know if that's just because of the design or the type of ink that it's using. And it was really distracting to look at a page and be able to basically see what's on the back side. I spent a lot of time rewriting all of my class notes. I mean, it was a good excuse for studying and making it more legible and improving readability. But I spent a lot of time making those notes one-sided. So I ended up with double the amount of pieces of paper that I originally had, but at least now it's written better and it's not, I don't have to look at 2 sides of it, just one. I was like, this isn't a good long-term solution. I don't want to have to do that. So I started looking for a pen that was finer than .38, which is not an easy thing to do. I've gone to Staples, Target, Office Depot, Walmart, any department store you could think of, and of course I couldn't find anything except online. And this is about the only thing I could find. And I actually found this suggestion on the Reddit page called Penmanship Porn, which is mostly like fountain pens and stuff like that, but every now and then see something about ballpoint. I jumped on it. So this is a .28. The G2 is .38, so it's a full 1/10 of a millimeter smaller. Uniball Signo DX. Wow. And the cap comes off, so it's not retractable, which, I mean, you could lose it, but whatever. But you can see it is very fine. Let's compare them. See if it can even focus. Probably kind of hard to tell. That's alright. So I used this today in class, and I don't really mind having to take the cap on and off if I'm not writing continuously. Most of the time I just like put it in the cap and just like hold it with my other hand or whatever. It's not a problem. Because I found that one very small downside is if I leave it uncapped for like 5 to 7 minutes, and the tip will start to dry out and it's hard to get it going again, which I guess I would kind of expect from something that's ultra fine point, but it's totally fine. So I've been using that, looking forward to using it. It's not really as necessary for writing small stuff like exponents right now. I mean, why? I mean, it comes in a pack of 5, and I'll get to them at some point, But they were relatively cheap, cheaper than G2s, so I think it was like $7 for a pack of 5. They're good because they're made in Japan. Each one of them came with an individual label that was all in kanji, and it even says on there Japan. Which, I mean, maybe pilots are made in Japan. I don't know. Yeah, they are. But anyhow, like I said, my first class, abstract math class today, was good. Just really looking forward to doing it for obvious reasons. The main one of which was that it kind of marks a big shift in my education from memorizing things and using algorithms to solve things and apply things and very, regimented in some respects, and there's not a lot of critical thinking involved or thinking outside the box or really just creativity in general. But with this class, it's a lot of that is out the window. It's all creative. And I mean, as my ninth grade geometry teacher, who was Haitian, said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. And that, I think at the time, that was in reference to proving stuff with triangles and stuff, like proving lines are parallel and all that other kind of stuff they do, which is really basic proof writing, but they never address it as such. Never really understood why they made high schoolers do that, but that's a video for another time. So it's a big shift. I've been looking forward to it. I like that it takes some critical thinking and some creativity as well. I mean, there's dozens, if not over 100 unique proofs for the Pythagorean theorem. That's pretty cool to me. Maybe I can come up with my own. I don't know. I don't know how difficult my exams are going to be. I know a little bit about what's on them. I know that's things you have to prove, as far as I know, and also vocab, so definition. So from, at least as far as today was concerned, that involved a lot of definitions regarding to set theory, like sets and subsets and complements of sets and all of that kind of stuff, how sets interact with each other and their relationships with each other, a definition versus an example, and all that kind of stuff. So pretty straightforward. I had homework today and he gave us time to do it in class so that we could ask him questions if need be. So that was cool. And even on day one, it made you think a little bit, which is cool. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And so far, this is actually the smallest college class I've ever had. Not by much. I had an English class my last semester at AUM that was probably 28 to 32 people, and at that time that was my smallest class. But now this is 24 or 25 people. It's a very small room, but I kind of like it that way. I mean, big classes don't bother me, but I prefer them to be smaller. And surprisingly, there are a lot of older people. When I say old, I mean like 35 or older. So no more am I the oldest person in the class, which is interesting. There's probably 5 to 7 people who are 40 or older, which is really interesting to me. I'm wondering, where they've been. You know what I mean? Like, why haven't I run into that many old people? And I don't know. It's just interesting. I'm probably gonna jump ahead tonight and probably read the next couple chapters. Maybe jump into this big text I've been looking forward to or something else. But otherwise, try and be productive. And I don't know why I thought this class was every day like my Spanish class was, but it's actually every other day. So I really only have 7.5 hours of class a week, which is not a lot. 2 hours and 20 minutes every 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So that being said, my first test is next Monday, so I can't get lulled into, this sense of complacency and laziness just because I only have one class. Total side note, if any of you are of age, because I do not condone underage drinking under any circumstances, if you are of age and you like interesting beer, I didn't realize this when I bought it, but Weihenstephan and Sierra Nevada did a collab, and it's called Braupact. It's got this interesting label on it of a bear, like a Surf's Up thing, I don't know, but it's pretty good. A little hoppier than I like, but yeah. So that's that. I'm glad I have a lot of free time. I can get stuff done. I can do other things. I can get back to exercising daily. Because God knows I put that off for entirely too long. I mean, one day is too long, honestly. I'm going to get fat if I don't watch out. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.